not happy within your life, and you are a disrespectful piece.
I know it has been a long time since you guys have heard from me. I was really nervous to make this video, and I still am, but I thought it was really important to make it. So I sat down and I wrote everything down to help me organize my thoughts so it would come out more clearly. People have asked me a lot about why I don't make my own videos or live stream anymore. They want to know why I haven't used the platform that's been handed to me to make money. And the main reason is because this community, even though a lot of you have been kind and supportive, has been and is very harmful and toxic mentally for me. While I've grown as a person and have become more aware of the mistakes I've made in the past, it's become embarrassing to have ever been a part of Amber's life on and off YouTube. My goal after the breakup was to move on as an individual and separate myself from what happened in the past. But when that audience consists mainly of people who have heard of me from Amber's videos, separating the two while still existing online became impossible. I went through a lot back then and I made mistakes. It wasn't the person I wanted to be or who I am now. When I chose to go to Karina Kaboom's channel, it was because I wanted to tell part of my story in a way that was from a safer distance so that I couldn't be accused of being a grifter or profiting off of it just for answering some questions. I was offered no money from Karina's video and I didn't expect any profit or fame from it. Am I upset that Eric and Ricky still talk to Amber? To be honest, we haven't spoken in almost a year. Few different times that people in my life tried to get me to leave her. My family had an intervention with me. They took me to a park and was like, we are begging you to leave her. When I would be hanging out with Eric and Ricky playing video games, and Amber would set timers for when I had to be back to hang out with her. Tell us about the new girlfriend. I hope she treats you well. I will tell you about my fiance. She treats me very well. She treats me the best I've ever been treated in a relationship ever. I'm not surprised about things that are coming out about Amber from her ex-friends and ex-partners. I know what I experienced the 3 or 4 years we were together. I know what my family was put through. I know what they still have talked to me about. I know what happened with my mom and, what it did to me and her. And I know what it did with my sister. And it's just, things got a little rough. And, they mended things there toward the end, but, she's blown it with everybody else. When did I realize you needed to end things with Amber? What was the final straw in the relationship? There was one day where she had started pretending to be me in text messages because I had a group message with Eric and Ricky that we had for years. And we had it long before I'd even known who Amber was. And she was mad that she wasn't added to that one, that she had been added to a new one that we created for all four of us. And so she was pretending to be me, asking for her to be put in our old friend group one from years ago. And they automatically knew that it wasn't me, but they could tell that it was her. And me and her just got into a big argument about that. And it was so bad that we just ended up going to sleep. We were in the living room. I was on one chair and she was on the couch. And we went to sleep for a really long time. And when we woke up, we started fighting again. And then I ended up going to my family's that weekend. And that's whenever I decided that I didn't want to continue being in this toxic relationship anymore. That I know I was so worried about what would happen to her, who would take care of her, who would take care of the animals. That's why I stayed so long. I was just so concerned with, I did care about this person. What do I think of Amber calling me money hungry and trying to capitalize on my live streams? That's what she was doing with me, like, the whole time I was being used for live streams. And that ties into the next question. Did I ever get paid from the live streams I did with her? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because she said that all of that money had to go toward all the bills. I don't even know how much she got. I have no idea. I don't even know how much I was supposed to get, if I was supposed to get half. I have no idea. I was just told, you do these live streams with me, you'll get money. But then she was like, you got to pay bills. So no, I didn't see anything from it. I think whenever we broke up and I moved out, I think she gave me like $100 to $200. And that's how I ended up getting the U-Haul, I think. Something like that. Yeah. But no, I'm definitely not money hungry for trying to do my own live streams. That was just, I don't know. I had periods where I wanted to come back and I had all these great ideas and I would get these big ambitious, like, you know, I still have videos on my phone of like, ghost adventures and, hiking. Me and my sister went to the Natural Arch. I've got videos from that I haven't uploaded. I became so depressed I couldn't even work anymore. And my sister and Logan had to take care of me. And they were the only ones who were there for me during that period of time. So, no, I wouldn't say I was money hungry. How has Amber manipulated you? What did she say to get you into the relationship? Well, I wanted to start off very slow, and I was moving too slow for her. So one day she was just like, there's a line of people who want to be with me, so if you're not going to be with me, then you need to leave. And I didn't want to lose that friendship. She said she wasn't interested in being friends, and I didn't want to lose the friendship. I was enjoying hanging out with her and getting to know her. So I just rushed into it. I was like, okay, fine, we'll be in a relationship. And it was just like, after that, I felt stuck and obligated. And like, she definitely made it known to me that she did not have anybody else, that I was all she had. Said that Eric and Ricky still talk to Amber. Did Eric have a convo with me about this before reaching out to Amber? To be honest, we haven't spoken in almost a year. And whenever I became really depressed, I isolated myself, and they got upset with me for doing that and not texting them. So they stopped talking to me. And so I never tried to fight for that, because that had happened other times before where they would just stop talking to me and I would have to beg for them to talk to me again. But I would go through bouts of depression and isolate myself from everyone. So, I mean, it wasn't like I was doing it to them. But, yeah, we don't talk. We had that a little falling out there. So whatever they do, I really don't care. Well, I've talked about why Amber and I broke up, but there were other times where we tried to break up, and it was me trying to break up with her, and she would argue with me and beg me and exhaust me until I would just give in and stay. That happened a few different times, and there was a few different times that people in my life tried to get me to leave her. My family had an intervention with me. They took me to a park and was like, you know, we are begging you to leave her. You are different. You aren't the same Beck that we used to know. We're worried about you. We just don't think this is a healthy relationship. And I was just so depressed at that point. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about anything. I felt stuck. I felt it's what I deserved. I felt like I had nowhere to go if I were to leave. I don't know. I just there were many factors as to why. But my family did do an intervention with me. And there were also times when I would be hanging out with Eric and Ricky playing video games, and Amber would set timers for when I had to be back to hang out with her or do things for her. And I was always spending time with her. It was, just every now and then I would go hang out with Eric and Ricky. And Amber would be invited too, but she would not choose to hang out with us. And then make it a point to set a timer for whenever I had to be back.
Absolutely outrageous. I bet none of y'all thought that was going on. I mean, people assumed the worst, but did anybody really think that it was this bad?